Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and I'm continuing my Winds of Winter predictions finally, covering Theon, Asha, and Victarion Greyjoy. Before we begin, thanks so much for 1k likes and 150 subs, that's just absolutely insane. Let's begin Greyjoy and the Winds of Winter. The first chapter is Theon 1, where if you remember from part 1 of this Winds of Winter series, Theon will meet Stannis, tell him about the Karstarks, and Theon will overhear that Stannis plans to kill him as soon as he takes Winterfell at Asha's suggestion in order to appease the Northern Lords. This is before the Battle of Ice and one of the first chapters in the Winds of Winter, and it's also a confirmed chapter by George. So yeah, this is gonna be filled with a lot of confirmed chapters to start off with. Another confirmed chapter, Aeron 1, is next, where Aeron Greyjoy is burned alive along with the woman that is carrying Euron's child before the Battle of the Blood, which is between Euron and the Red Wine Fleet. The chapter ends when Aeron dies, and from the next chapter, Cersei 1, the reader and audience learn that Euron wins the Battle of Blood somehow, covering the water in blood thanks to the sacrifice of Aeron, and now Euron Greyjoy continues his journey to Old Town. I believe this is confirmed as well. Once again, another confirmed chapter being Barristan 1, where it covers the Battle of Fire, where Daenerys is still absent, and why this connects to House Greyjoy? It's because in this chapter, Barristan sees that the Greyjoys have arrived, and they've turned the battle in the favor of the Daenerys' side. Victarion 1 is literally the next chapter right after it in my predictions, where Barristan and Daenerys' small council come with an agreement with Victarion to support Euron as king of the Iron Islands. Remember, Victarion's only there as Euron's envoy in exchange for bringing Daenerys to Westeros when she gets back. Victarion having a chapter related to the Battle of Fire is confirmed by George R.R. Martin himself. Going all the way back up north, it's not a confirmed chapter for once. Yay, we're getting onto the predictions, being Theon 2. Yeah, I predict this is in part 1, so I'll try to summarize my prediction for this chapter, being basically this battle takes place after the Battle of Ice, where it's revealed that Stannis won the Battle of Ice. Also, the Manderleys join Stannis after the battle. However, we see that Stannis and the Manderleys make arrangement to fake Stannis' death so that they can take Winterfell from the inside and avoiding a battle with Ramsay Bolton. Moving back to Meereen, and in either Barristan 2 or Tyrion 2, I'm still kind of figuring that out. I'm leading Barristan 2. But the Battle of Fire is won with the death of the evil slave masters. The focus now shifts from defending Meereen to re-establish Daenerys' claim over the free cities by appointing new rulers in the various cities, along with finding Daenerys. The next chapter is Victarion 2, where Victarion blows the horn Dragonbinder, as we know he will do. That's basically why Euron sent him there, to tame a dragon. Just after the battle is won, as instructed by Euron, which should tame a dragon to the Greyjoys. However, this will backfire as Drogon burns Victarion alive along with some of his ships. I really don't see George stripping Daenerys of one of her dragons before A Dream of Spring. And in addition, I doubt Euron would have a dragon be tamed to Victarion. I'm going to spoil this, but in House of the Dragon, where Joffrey tries to fly Rhaenyra's dragon and the dragon wants off. So a dragon isn't shared between multiple riders. It's one rider. So this means that it's going to be tamed to Euron or Victarion, or more likely, Victarion is just going to get burnt alive as Euron gets him out the way. In addition, Euron isn't above killing his siblings, which he's killed one, and he's going to kill another. Like Victarion 1, this chapter takes place directly after the Barristan chapter before it. Next chapter is Theon 3, where it's revealed that Stannis has taken Winterfell and has killed Roose Bolton, and Stannis learns that Jon Snow is dead, and at Melisandre's suggestion, Stannis goes up north to the wall to try and resurrect Jon. As Theon also reveals that fake Arya isn't Arya, but instead Jane Poole. Stannis needs a Stark to keep holding Winterfell, and Jon would be free from his Night's Watch vows when he lives again. This makes Stannis even more desperate, but he chooses to leave Winterfell, and Theon Greyjoy in Winterfell still not trusting him yet. Finally, a different Greyjoy, it's Asha 1, Asha is now a trusted ally of Stannis, and in this chapter, Stannis arrives at the Wall, sees the full extent of the Night's Watch politics, and Alliser Thorne and all the other mutineers are hanged by Stannis. Stannis also learns that Dolores Ed has gone to rally the wildlings to avenge Jon, and at the end of the chapter, Stannis decides to burn his own daughter to wake Jon, thanks to his increasing desperation to turn the war against him, despite winning the Battle of Ice and Winterfell. And Stannis burning Meereen is confirmed by George. He gave it to D&D. The next chapter is Davos 4, where although Davos isn't a Greyjoy, Asha plays a pretty big role in this chapter, so I do need to include it here. In this chapter, Asha Greyjoy arrives at Winterfell, where she tells Davos and Rickon, who's back in Winterfell, that Stannis is dead. Stannis was killed by Ramsay Bolton in a surprise attack, and with Stannis dead, Asha convinces Davos and Rickon to release Theon and have Asha and Theon begin their journey to White Harbor to go take some ships and use Dagmere Cleftjaw's ships since he's still in Tarn Square. And it's not revealed to the audience yet, but they're going to try and bring Daenerys back to Westeros. Asha also says that Jon is alive and the Battle of the Bastards is about to take place, and the Manderley army leaves Winterfell to go assist Jon. Of course, Davos, Rickon, and the audience aren't told that they're going to get Daenerys, but they'll come up with some fake reason to leave. But the next chapter is Asha 2, where Asha reunites with Dagmere Cleftjaw, who is still at Tarn Square, and Asha convinces him to leave Tarn Square, returning it to Stark control so that they can bring ships over to White Harbor and they can bring Daenerys Targaryen back to Westeros. This is realistically the only way Daenerys gets to Westeros, and Theon won't die, and as to me, because he still needs to do something, and Asha still needs to do something to gain her title as Queen of the Iron Islands, as that's my prediction for A Dream of Spring for her. In Asha 3, her, Theon, and Dagmere Cleftjaw arrive at White Harbor, where they will convince the Manderleys to allow them to use Dagmere's ship to sail away. The new Lord Manderley will let them go, seeing as there are 3 threats leaving the north and Lord Rickon Stark, so they're off the board. Asha and Theon leave, and White Harbor will eventually meet Daenerys Targaryen. Actually, no, they won't. I don't know why I'm saying that, but yeah, they leave White Harbor to go meet Daenerys, although we don't know this yet. We see the final Theon chapter in the Winds of Winter being Theon 4, and this is where they're sailing to Braavos, the current location of Daenerys Targaryen. Before I continue, it's heavily implied that Daenerys and Tyrion will go to Braavos. They do have some ships left from Victarion Greyjoy, which I'm guessing that wasn't burned by Drogon, or maybe they marched there from Vaes Dothrak, but that's a bold prediction considering Meereen and Braavos aren't close. So this could be wrong. They could still be Meereen, but yeah, you can assume a long gap between Asha 3 and Theon 4. Anyway, in Theon 4, Asha reveals that to Theon and to the audience that they are sailing east instead of west to get the support of the Dragon Queen Daenerys and for her to support their claim to the Iron Islands. This is where Theon declares loyalty to Asha, naming her his Queen and Queen of the Iron Islands. It's a huge moment of character development for Theon Greyjoy. He's no longer Reek, really. In Asha 4, the final Asha chapter of Winds of Winter, Asha arrives in Braavos but doesn't meet Daenerys, yet instead her and Theon navigate around the city, possibly meeting the Face and Nagar and I'm predicting that Jack and Nagar shows up here since, yeah, he's still around in the books, and I'm predicting that Arya will be gone by this point. Now, that's all the Greyjoy chapters, but Asha plays a pretty big role in 2 more chapters, so I'm gonna say them. The next chapter is the Daenerys chapter, which I'm covering Daenerys in part 6. I'm still figuring that out, so I couldn't tell you what number Daenerys chapter this is, but this is a Daenerys chapter. Anyway, the chapter is basically this scene from Game of Thrones.
Defeated ours and took the Iron Islands. We ask you to give them back.
And that's all. We'd like you to help us murder an uncle or 2 who don't think a woman's fit to rule. Reasonable. Better than you found it.
You will support my claim as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms, and respect the integrity of the 7 Kingdoms. No more reaving, roving, raiding, or raping.
That's our way of life.
No more.
No more.
This scene could still take place in Meereen, or Pentos, but I think it'll be Braavos, and Daenerys is getting the support of the Iron Bank after Stannis' death would be my best guess. And with the other part of the Iron Fleet, Daenerys is finally able to go back home to Dragonstone. The next chapter is another Daenerys chapter where basically it's Daenerys, Asha, Theon, the Dothraki, the Sellsword groups that support Daenerys, the Unsullied, and Daenerys' 3 dragons, all leaving Braavos, Meereen, Pento somewhere in the Free Cities for Dragonstone. Asha and Theon play a key role in these 2 Daenerys chapters, so that's once again why I included them. And that's going to be it for this video. It's a rather shorter prediction video, but I don't want to spoil any of Daenerys related chapters for part 6, since that's going to be a really long video. But yeah, I don't see the Greyjoys playing a role in any of the other Daenerys' chapters, and I think they're going to play a minor role in the A Dream of Spring. Thanks so much again for 1k likes and 150 subs. The Life of Robert Baratheon, the 1k like special is going up on Friday. So until then, bye!